Hi, I'm so glad you're here today to join us for this 60-minute yoga flow. If this is your first time visiting LifePoint Fitness, welcome. My name is Stephanie and I will be your yoga teacher over this next hour. Today's flow is a very slow, stretchy, grounding flow that will actually use something that you hopefully have at home, which is just a simple towel. So if that's not handy close by, feel free to hit pause, go grab it, and meet me back here on your mat. Now, we'll be using this towel in several different ways today, always as an option. This is just something that you can learn to do, not just with me leading you, but also in your own personal flows, or even times that you just need to stretch but need a little extra support. So using something simple from your own home that can come in and support your body. To start, we're going to take this towel and just place it down on the mat, pop our hips up on it, and find a simple seated position. Now, what's the benefit of sitting on a towel? Many of us sit in very tight hips, and so by propping our body up, it gives our legs a little bit more freedom to just sit, find some space and some openness. Now, that's not quite for you. Just take it on out and have a seat straight down on your mat. Set your towel down to the side. We'll be using it later. Where you are, go ahead and close off the eyes. Take a deep breath in. Open the lips, release the air. Roll your shoulders up towards the ears, back and down, feeling your shoulder blades slide down the sides of your spine. Drawing up through pelvic floor, feel your core engaged, chin up off your chest, head over heart, heart over hips. Now, even though we're seated, there's still intention and integrity in this seat. As you stay here and breathe, let me just prepare you for what's coming ahead today. And your flow will start seated, as we are right now, working through some different spinal stretches in this seat. Eventually, we'll be making our way all the way down to lie on the mat. This entire flow will be taking place right here. We're not even standing for any of it. So enjoy a time to just be at peace, to rest, to let gravity help you in several passive stretches. And as always, if there's a way that your body is craving to move, or a way that you know you would prefer to stretch a certain area, feel free to make this flow your own, right? You can take these all as just suggestions. All right, let's stay here for one more full breath all together. Deep breath in. And as you release, drop your chin down to your chest, maintaining integrity through the back. Inhale, roll the ear to the right. As you exhale, come back through center. And then inhale, ear to left shoulder. As we continue with these half neck rolls, I invite you, if you have a healthy neck and it feels good to you, to take full neck rolls here. If it feels crunchy at all or causes discomfort, you can stay with it right here with me with the half neck rolls. I invite you in your practice today to really take on the role of the observer. Where is my body in time and space? Where is my body in this posture? How does it feel in my body, without bringing judgment or attachment to it, simply an observation. With your neck tucked down towards your chin, sweep the arms up and very gently interlace the fingers and place them behind the head. Very small amount of pressure here. Beautiful. Release the hands. Take a nice firm grip on the knees. Round out through the belly. Scoop it. Tuck the chin. Tuck the tailbone. Take a deep breath in. And on your next exhale, let the heart shine through, let the head fall back and come forward. Inhale, scoop it out. Exhale, push the air out as your chest comes forward. Taking a few little camel rides here, warming up the spine. See if you can move forward a little bit more each time, keeping those sitting bones grounded on your mat, just moving forward in space. How far back can you go? How far forward can you go? Maybe you're feeling a bit of a stretch starting in those hips, maybe in the low back. We all carry our tightness differently, so we'll feel these stretches today in different areas. All right, we're going to add on, keeping with this forward and back. We're now adding on circles deep out to the side as far as you can stretch it. As you come along back behind you, scoop out the belly. As you draw to the next side, really get deep into that stretch. Bring it far forward and around again. You can even use your hands to press down on the knees, creating a little bit more pressure there, getting a little deeper into a hip stretch. Good, one more this direction. Excellent. And now in the back, let's reverse. Go the other way. Now don't be afraid to take up space. We spend a lot of our lives trying to make ourselves small, but God has created us to be big, to take up space, to do hard things, to do big things that He's created us uniquely and wonderfully to do. So don't be afraid to use your time on the mat to get really big. Let your breath be big, let your movement be big, and come up. If the towel is behind you, go ahead and remove it right now and to bring it out in front of you. From here, keeping our legs crossed just as they are, sweep your arms up and begin to bring your navel forward, forward, forward. When you can go forward no more, begin to let your body come down, resting that head on the towel. Now, if this towel is too high, you can go ahead and release it and bring your head all the way down to the floor. If the towel's not quite high enough, simply adjust your fold, bringing a bit more height. Crawl those fingers forward, and let's just stay here in this breath. Now, the temptation may be to lift the sitting bones off the mat. I encourage you to resist that temptation. Stay grounded down onto your mat as your fingers crawl forward. Remember to breathe here in this stretch. Now you'll notice as we go throughout the practice today that some of our stretches will be dynamic, meaning stretching with movement. Others will be static, meaning stretching and holding. Our body needs both. They work together to help us to increase our elasticity, to find open spaces in what was once closed off. Begin to walk your fingers back and roll up just one vertebrae at a time. The head is the last to lift. Switch the cross of your legs and let's fold forward again. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Begin shifting your navel forward towards the feet. When they can go forward no more, allow your head to rest down. On the towel, the floor, Maybe you still need a little bit more height. You can even start stacking the fists on top of that towel, just bringing the earth up closer to provide that structure and support for you to rest. On your next inhale, begin to roll up just one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, sweep the arms high. And exhale, twist to the right, keeping our spine nice and straight and strong, looking over that shoulder. Remember to breathe in the stretch. On your next inhale, sweep the arms high. And exhale, twist to the left. Again, staying nice and tall and strong in your posture, looking over that shoulder. Sitting bones are staying rounded down. On your next inhale, sweep the arms high, come back to center. And on your exhale, bring the hands behind you and begin to press through the hands, press through the ankles as you lift the hips high. Nice neutral spine all the way to the base of the skull. Feel that opening in your hips. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release, beautiful. Take your right leg and bring it straight out in front of you. Left leg comes in at a figure four. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, bringing the navel forward once again. When you can go forward, no more. Allow your top half to fold over. Now, option if you can't quite reach your feet is to take your towel once more and use it as a strap. So our goal here, I know that many people are still sheltering from home. And so the goal is to be able to take items that you have around your home, like a simple little bath towel, and use those as props in your yoga practice. Now, for things like this, of course, you could take a belt if you don't have a yoga strap at home and use it in much the same way. But since we already have our towel handy, using it as a little support in some of these other postures, why not use it as a depth provider in our forward fold? To get a little deeper, just bring your elbows out to the side. Now maybe you're super flexible. You can use the same towel to give yourself length, so you're reaching even beyond just your foot. And you could also use it to get into a little bit deeper of a stretch by propping your foot under it. The foot is coming up higher, even closer in towards your chest. So just play around with all of these different options, finding what feels good in your body. We'll stay here for another 2 breaths. As you come up, sweep the arms up, Bring your hand back to the twist, so right hand to left knee. Sweep the left arm up and over and reach toward those toes. Big side body stretch. And some of you may even make contact with the toes. I am, a solid 2 feet away from that contact, but that's okay. If you're feeling the stretch, you know you're doing it right. Continue to breathe here and imagine just sending that breath to this nice side body that's receiving this length. On your next inhale, sweep both arms high. Hands through heart center. Let's switch the legs. Left leg comes out nice and long. Right knee bends, coming into your figure four with legs straight out first. Sweep the arms high. Navel moves forward, forward, forward. And when you can move forward no more, begin to fold down. As you breathe in this stretch, think about moving just 1 millimeter at a time deeper into your fold. And again, you've got your options. Use your towel as a strap to pull your body a little bit deeper, maybe provide extra length or height in your stretch. We're here for another 3 breaths. On your next exhale, walk your hands up, sweep the arms up on the inhale. Exhale, twist toward that bent knee. Staying nice and tall and strong through your spine. Sweep the right arm up and over, reaching it towards those left toes. Side body stretch. I had a friend just this morning say, I'm not the best at warming up and cooling down before my workout and after, but once a week I give myself a nice long stretchy yoga flow. Now, in an ideal world, we'd all warm up and cool down properly for every single workout, but I love that part about the once a week slow and stretchy flow. How beautiful it is to carve out a big chunk of time to just work on lengthening your body. So feel free to bookmark this flow, come back to it as often as you'd like. On your next inhale, sweep the arm back up and straighten. Let's do both legs together. Inhale, arms high. Draw the navel forward, forward, forward. When you can go no farther, begin to lower. Again, options. Use your towel as a strap. Pulling back on it allows you to keep your back nice and straight as you move your belly button forward even a little farther than before. On your next inhale, walk the hands up the legs, pull the feet in towards one another, soles of the feet to touch, knees open up wide. Sit up nice and tall. And a couple of options here as we find cobbler, opening up the feet like a book, or maybe you like to use your hands as a little cushion for the ankles, finding what feels good for your body. Begin to move your navel once more forward, forward, forward. When you can move forward no more, you can allow your back to start lowering towards the ground. I like to take my elbows here and press against my knees to get a little bit deeper into my hips. Now, I know this is not for everybody, so I just want to give you some ideas of different options in this cobbler's pose. And once again, you can take this towel, roll it up to bring the earth a little closer to you and give you a little prop for your head.
Some of you, your head may be resting all the way down on your mat. And some may be up super high. Our bodies are so uniquely and wonderfully made. Just celebrate where you are today. We're not trying to force into any of these stretches or postures. One more deep breath in.
And on the exhale, come up and keeping the feet together, just slide them out in front of you as far as you can go before they separate. And then walk your hands back down,
Feeling the stretch in a totally new way.
On your next exhale, walk the hands back. Swing the legs around behind you and make your way into child's pose. In your child's pose, for some of you, your hips will sit right back onto your heels, no problem. For others, you may find that you have quite a bit of space back there. I invite you to roll your towel, fold it over, and just place it right behind the knees. And then sit back on that in your child's pose. So as you crawl your fingers forward, you've gotten rid of the space here behind your hips. They've now got something to fill it up with the form of this towel. This can just help to allow your back to feel a little bit more supported in this. Now I encourage you to try it out, and if you find it's not for you, then easy enough, just take that towel, set it off to the side, and play around in your child's pose. Maybe you keep the knees together. Maybe you open the knees nice and wide and let the belly just shimmy down between the thighs. We all carry tightness in different ways, which means that what feels more restorative to you might be different than what feels more restorative for the person next to you. So play around with that in your body. Curl those fingers forward as far as they can go. Press the fingertips into the ground. The rest of the arms staying nice and strong. Elevate. Feel a stretch come all the way down the lats. Releasing the elbows back to the mat. Bring the palms of your hands together and bring it back. Bring the hands back to the base of your skull. Feeling the stretch on your tricep. Again, the focus of today is more the restorative side of the coin than the working side of the coin. So as I show you different variations, if you think, oh, I liked the other one better, feel free to go back to that. I want you to be able to stay comfortably for several breaths in each of these stretches. From here, walk both of your hands over to the right. Anchor the hands into the ground and kick your hip away to the left. Bring your forehead back down and breathe in the side body stretch. On your next exhale, walk the hands all the way over to the left. Anchor the hands. Push the hips off to the right. Resting your head back down, feel the side body stretch on your right side. One more deep breath in. On your exhale, walk the hands back to center. Take your left hand and slide it underneath the right. Bring your left cheek to the mat. Right arm extends out in front of you. Enjoy this twist. One more deep breath in. And on your exhale, let's just switch it over, threading the needle to the other side. Right arm under left, right cheek to the mat, left arm walks forward. One more deep breath in. On your exhale, release the hands. Bring them back towards your shoulders and begin to move forward. Let's take a nice counter stretch out of that and into Cobra. So start with your belly all the way down, just where you are on the mat if necessary. Bring your hands just underneath your shoulders and begin to roll up. Just a tiny little baby cobra to start, and back down. Inhale, get a little bit higher. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, come all the way up into full cobra, keeping a nice little micro bend in the arms. Roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Feel your heart shining through. Nice counter stretch for all of that child's pose that we are holding. Give yourself a bit of a double chin here, so you're not dropping the head down, you're not throwing the head back. Be kind to your neck, loving to your neck. And once you've found that nice stability, take your gaze off to the right. And bring the gaze over to the left. Coming back to center, take a deep breath in. Exhale, big toes to touch, push back into child's pose. Inhale, roll forward, finding cobra. And exhale, big toes to touch, find child's pose. Do this 4 more times. Roll forward, unroll into cobra. And exhale to child's pose. Inhale, roll it forward, unroll, find your cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Let's do 2 more for fun. Unroll, make your way to cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Last one, roll it forward. Just letting the blood pump towards those hips. Push it back, child's pose. This time when you come forward, bring your belly all the way down to your mat. Beautiful. Bring forehead down. Now stretching your left arm out long beside you. Bring your right leg up and roll it over, finding scorpion. Your right hand can be placed right here in front of you, just helping you push into that stretch. Now, option, if this feels like you're working a little too much for a restorative day, is to take your towel, kind of tuck it right up under your ribs. I'll turn around so you can see from that angle. So your arm is shooting out to the side, the leg comes up and over. Your other hand is giving you support here. Now this hand may be plenty of support, it might be just what you need. If you need a little extra though, you can take this towel and kind of tuck it right up here under your ribs, almost like a kickstand. We feel very comforting, like some people sleep with their pillow right here, hugged nice and tight, or their dog, their puppy, speaking truth from my household. Good, just continue to breathe in this, really opening through this shoulder. If you're using the towel, go ahead and remove it. Maybe set it up by your head for easy access for the second side. Straighten the leg, roll out of this, down, forehead to mat. And then let's just switch sides. If you need to get your towel handy, bring it over. Other arm extends, bring that leg up and over. Maybe taking the towel, tucking it in under the ribs, for a little bit extra support, pressing the hand down into the mat. I've never used a towel in this position before. That was not part of the plan for today, but I thought, oh, I wonder how this will feel. So I hope that gives you permission to experiment. Find what feels good with your body. Now, for those of you who are at home, maybe outside of your regular studio of practice, there are all kinds of things you can use to come in and support that you have just right there, maybe on your bed or on your couch. Blankets, towels, pillows, bolsters, blocks, straps, belts. So many different tools that you can pull in. So for now, this towel was sitting here and I thought, oh, I wonder how this will feel. Honestly, I really love this. I feel very supported in my body. Feels very cozy. It's kind of an overcast, dreary day here in St. Louis. And I don't know, this feels very snuggly to me, so give it a try. All right, one more deep breath in, remove the towel first if you're using it. Uncurl the leg and roll all the way down. Now there's not a super graceful way to do this, but we're just going to move onto our back. So stretched from a seat, stretched from our belly, and now we're going to stretch from our back. We're not using this right away, but do keep your towel handy for when we do. Making your way onto your back, just hug the knees into the chest for a moment. Draw some circles on the ceiling with those knees supported by your hands, so your core is not having to work here to do this. Your arms are moving the legs. Take a couple of circles the other direction. Plant both feet down on the mat and drop both knees off to the right. Arms are open wide, point your gaze to the left. We'll be returning to this stretch, but we're just here for a moment right now. Bring your legs up and over, other way. Point your gaze once again in the opposite direction. Deep breath in, brace your belly to protect your spine as you bring your legs back to center. Keeping your left foot planted firmly on the ground, bring your right ankle up and over, rest it right there on top of your left thigh in a reclined figure four. We're going to make our way to reclined pigeon. Lots of different options that I'll show you. You can find what feels good for you, and then we'll stay in it for several breaths. Perhaps you stay right here, this is enough. Maybe you press the knee away, creating a little bit more space in the hip. Maybe you try reaching for the hamstring, keeping the leg bent, or maybe straightening that toe straight up at the sky and circling, pointing and flexing, playing around with the ankle while you're there. Or maybe you reach through for an even deeper stretch all the way through to the shin and hug both knees in towards your ribs. Finding what feels good for your body today, and it might be different the next time you come into this practice. That's okay. Maybe take a few sways side to side here. A little massage for the back, doing what feels good. And then settle into stillness. We're here for another 3 breaths. Begin rolling your ankles. If your left one is still planted on the floor, just roll the right. Roll the ankles the other direction. Find stillness. And now, keeping your legs crossed and pretzeled just as they are, bring the left foot to the floor if it's not already there. Press the right knee away once more. Open both arms out, capital T. Brace your belly. Take a deep breath in, brace your belly, and on your exhale, drop both legs off to the left and point your gaze to the right. Good, hold and breathe. On your next inhale, brace the belly, and exhale, bring both legs up and over to the other direction. Arms stay wide in your capital T. Point your gaze away from the knees, so the weight of this top foot is pressing down on that knee, giving it an even deeper stretch. Now, if that's too much, you're welcome, of course, to just release that top foot down to the mat. On your next inhale, brace the belly, and on your exhale, come back to center. Release this right foot down to the ground, plant it firmly, and let's move the left ankle on top of the right knee. Finding reclined pigeon on side number 2. And again, play around with what version of this feels right on this side on this day. Perhaps just pressing the knee away. If that's where you stop today, that's where you stop today. Maybe grabbing on to that hamstring, keeping legs bent, or straightening, pointing and flexing the toe. Or maybe you reach all the way through to the shin. I invite you to take a little bit of a rock, finding movement in this, a little massage out for that low back, and then just settle into stillness. Begin to circle the feet in one direction and then the other. Keeping your legs crossed just as they are, plant firmly the right foot onto the earth. Press the left knee away. Open the arms to capital T. Take a deep breath in. Brace the belly. And on your exhale, release both legs to the right, pointing your gaze to the left. And once more, if there's a different supine twist variation that you prefer, feel free to take that. What sensations do you notice? Does this side feel the same as the first side did? Do you feel some differences? Not to judge, just to observe. Be curious about your body. On your next breath in, brace the abs, and on your exhale, bring the legs up and over, dropping down to the other side, and again, point your gaze in the opposite direction. Weight of that top foot allowing you to get deeper into the hip stretch, and once more, if it's too much, just release the leg. Take a deep breath in, brace the abs, and on your exhale, bring both legs back to center. Release the left foot to the earth. Taking your two hands, slide them up the inside of the knees to the outside of the feet. And pull those knees in towards your armpits and maybe begin to take a little rock side to side. Open the legs out wider, wider, wider. Keeping a nice generous bend in the knee. And maybe fall all the way to one side, bounce off, come all the way to the other. A little happy baby here. Now play around with perhaps straightening the legs. Feeling this become more of a stretch for the hamstrings. Find the version that feels good for you. Make this a little playful today. Remembering to breathe. Settling back to center, hug the knees into the chest, give them a big squeeze, and plant both feet down onto the mat. We're going to take a few rolling bridges, but first let's talk about engaging through the pelvic floor. So begin with just a slight tilt, bring your pubic bone towards your chin. Those of you who are part of the in-person LifePoint Fitness community, we've been focusing on this a lot the past few weeks. And I've loved hearing the changes people are experiencing as they strengthen this often neglected part of the body. So that slight tilt, pubic bone towards chin, and now begin to engage the muscles on your pelvic floor as if you really needed to use the restroom and you had to hold it first. So engaging the front muscles, the back muscles, and those in between. And now with that engagement, begin to roll one vertebrae at a time off the floor up into a bridge as you inhale, and then roll one vertebrae at a time back down, keeping that tilt until the end. Release. Bring your tilt back. Engage the muscles of the pelvic floor. Begin rolling up, and this time, what if you take your arms to roll with you overhead? And as you roll back down, the arms follow, one vertebrae at a time, and release. Inhale, sweep it up. Remember that engagement we're working towards. And exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, roll it up. And exhale, bring it back down. The last one, inhale, roll it up. And exhale, roll it back down. Return behind you, finding that towel. You may need to come up to a quick seat, just as I show you what to do with this now. We're going into a supported fish, which we will hold for several minutes. And actually, for some of you, if you choose to stay in this for your entire Shavasana and everything, then you are welcome. So taking your towel, I'll take a moment here just to bring you into it. I just folded mine in half, and then in half like a hamburger bun, in half and then in half again, and then in half again. So it's made a nice long line. Now, all of us have a different length torso, a different gap that we're filling. So there will come a point that you kind of play around with what feels good for you. I like to then take it again in half like this. So it becomes kind of this rectangle for me. Now, again, you're in your body. Find what feels good for you here. I'm going to bring this right back behind me and begin to just lower one vertebrae at a time, allowing my top half to drape over this towel. Now, once you get there, if you realize, oh, I think I get what she's trying to have us do here, but it feels a little off, maybe I need to move it a bit. Play around with it. Be curious about your body. Be curious about your practice. And so once you found a good positioning, you're just going to drape the arms out. You can even bring the legs wide if you would like, into a supported fish. So our entire front body is just opening. Gravity's pulling these arms down heavy, the legs down heavy, the tailbone down heavy. but our back is being pushed up by the support of this towel, allowing an opening through our chest, through our shoulders, even through these hips as they're an extension. We're going to just stay here for the next several moments. From here, we'll be making our way into our final resting Shavasana. If you're really enjoying this supported fish and it feels great in your body and you prefer to stay here, feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. If you're choosing to release the towel, just roll off to the side, remove it, set it off to the side, and make your way down into Shavasana. Now, I recommend for you, just in the light of the way we've been moving and stretching in our practice today, to make this a really big, really wide Shavasana. Maybe even bring your legs to the width or greater than the width of your mat, arms out to the side. And just feel your body begin to sink. I'm going to give you just a few variations of Shavasana that you can play around with what feels restful for you. This shouldn't feel like work, right? So how can we rest in this? For some people, their back feels a little better with feet flat on the ground, width of the mat, knees falling in towards one another. Just opens a little bit down in your SI joint. For others, the opposite is true. Feet together, knees open, finding that cobbler pose once again, but now on your back, creating space in your hips. For some, legs and arms straight down to the side and down in front of you. And for others, taking up space in that wide. So I leave you here the next few moments in silence. Just find what your body is able to settle into for an extended time. And find that posture of rest. circle your fingers, circle your toes. Bring your arms straight up overhead. Lengthen your body along in your neck. Lengthen the right side long. Lengthen the left side long. Begin to make your way onto your side in the fetal position and just pause. Pressing that top hand into the earth, begin to make your way up into a nice seated position. Let's seal our practice with one more deep breath in. Sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. Thanks for flowing with me today. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed this nice, slow, and stretchy flow. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel to receive more flows as they come in. And for those who are in the St. Louis area, check us out at lifepointfitness.com. We would love to have you stop by for any of our live and in-person boot camps or yoga flows. As you go, may you see the Lord in all of the steps around you.